What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Fun with Dumb. As you may know, the studio looks a little different from my usual setup in my second bedroom of my small condo in Los Angeles. If you didn't know, I do that podcast out of my house. I'm visiting Seoul, Korea right now using the podcast studio of Collab Asia, Korea. So thank you, Collab Asia, for letting me use this. This is far more professional than my setup, actually, so it's kind of embarrassing. I'm doing a few episodes of Fun with Dumb in Korea. And right now I gathered two of my friends, actually, one from New York City who happens to be visiting Korea, Esther Choi, chef, entrepreneur, TV personality now.
Oh, God.
What's up, Esther?
What's up?
Stay close to the mic, too.
Oh, what's up? How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm good. You're visiting Korea?
Yeah.
How are you enjoying your stay?
It kind of rejuvenated my soul. It's just I love Korea, and you know, every time I come here, I find like a newfound love for this country, motherland. You know?
No, for sure. Yeah, I'm from K-Town, so this is like K-World, as I like to say. And I'm joined by a second guest, Dave, or as they call in Korea, Dave.
Dave, yeah, the world of Dave. Thanks for having me. I've actually wanted to be on this podcast for quite a while.
Would you say it's a lifelong dream?
It was one of my goals, one of my business goals, actually, to be on this podcast.
Thank you, man.
I watch your podcast, so
you do.
Yeah,
I do too.
Okay.
And I mean, I watch a lot of clips, but I'm a fan, so
I appreciate it. And big. Dave is one of the biggest YouTubers in Korea. I looked it up. It says like first generation YouTuber in Korea. So that means like you're one of the first
people in Korea,
like ever. YouTube stars in Korea.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I was doing it before. Koreans weren't even using YouTube when I started.
Wow.
People were on Facebook, Cyworld. You remember Cyworld?
Oh my God, Cyworld.
Kakao Story, you know.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was doing it when Koreans didn't really think YouTube was a platform to watch videos on. So
yeah, and you're from Atlanta.
I'm from Atlanta.
Yeah, and shout out our boy Pass, who is actually friends with you from back in the day in Atlanta, which is crazy.
Sir.
Yeah. So your YouTube channel, you talk lifestyle stuff. You talk about the food. You talk about the places, the language. Yeah. It's crazy. I've learned some of the things about my own culture through a white dude who over here. But we have some food here too, guys. We bought some kimbap, some rolls here, sundae, which is what is it? Blood
sausage.
Blood sausage. I know that sounds crazy to some of y'all, but that shit's fire. Tteokbokki, and it's like a new tteokbokki where you put in some cornflakes or some shit. We'll see.
It's like rice.
Yeah.
Flakes.
And my boy Jay Park's brand new soju, Won Soju. He's getting into the soju world. And getting into a new alcohol is not an easy thing to do. It's super competitive. Every rapper has one, but it makes sense that Jay would have his own. And it's soju. So why don't we start off this little kind of chat with a bottle of soju.
Yay!
I mean, it's a shot of soju.
I've never had this, actually.
Yeah, I haven't had it either, actually. This is my first time having it. Jay actually sent this, like he delivered it here today for this intervie.
That's so nice.
Yeah, well, I asked him because I was like, I was gonna get soju to drink, but I was like, if we're drinking another brand, he's gonna be like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. Like, I asked him, so here we go. All right, guys, you don't have to do the polite two-hand shit. All right.
You know what? Why not?
Because we're all friends here.
We're all friends.
All right, cool. Yeah.
It's a cute bottle too.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
I like
good branding.
All right, guys, let's take a shot here.
Okay, cheers.
And get a little sound. Now we're gonna get a little sound.
Oh my God. ASMR.
Yep. All right. There is a different taste to it. That is a different taste to it.
That's different.
It's much more smooth.
Whoa.
It's not like the...
Really?
Yeah, well...
It's bitter.
Well, soju is bitter.
Better say some nice shit. Jay's pulling up tomorrow, bro. Jay's pulling up tomorrow.
No, it's just different. It's different. It's different for sure. I guess I mean, look, I literally have a soju tattoo.
Oh, the green bottle.
You do have a soju tattoo.
I do have a soju tattoo.
What if one day you were like, I don't like soju anymore, and then you look at your tat, you're like, fuck.
I haven't liked soju in years.
Oh my
gosh. But it doesn't say a company. It says Songsu, which is holy water. And the reason why I did it, there's meaning to it. I learned most of my Korean from drinking soju. Just because I don't like soju.
You learned most of your Korean from drinking soju?
Yes, sir.
Like in what way? Like you get drunk and all of a sudden, I did notice when I get drunk, my Korean gets better.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You know why?
What?
it's because you get more confidence. And
Absolutely.
sometimes when you're trying to learn a new language, it's like you're shy about it, and that's why you don't speak
I'm
it.
not shy about
No,
that
you're not
shit
shy
at all.
about it.
That's why my Korean is as good as it is. I don't use Korean with any time. I barely see my parents. That's the only time I would use Korean. But my Korean is like pretty good. Like people are surprised when I
Oh, it's pretty
Korean.
good? Okay,
Yeah.
let's test you.
You could test me. What do you want to test me?
I don't know. How should we test?
I don't know.
What's coming?
지금부터 한국말로 할까, 그럼?
No, I don't want to because we got international fans.
Okay.
We did it last time. But yeah, so talk about your Korean confidence. I mean, Korean, how you learn Korean.
I think it's
Soju.
absolutely true. You get more confident. Just because I do YouTube doesn't mean I'm a extrovert. I'm a little bit shy. People who watch my videos and they meet me in real life, they notice I'm a little bit more quiet. And even on this podcast, I'm not controlling the camera. I'm not controlling my script. So I'm a little bit more reserved.
This isn't the usual Dave they would see on YouTube right now.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
He was saying that he sucks at this.
I'm not good at this.
Yeah, he like doesn't
Yeah.
do this.
I'm good at making a video. I'm good at editing.
Creating the world of Dave.
Exactly. But I can't really freestyle entertainment. I'm not a very funny person naturally. You know?
I'm the same way, actually. Like, I'm a personality and a host, but I am shy for the most part. Like, if I was at a bar and I had to go up to a girl,
you couldn't do it.
I would not do it. Like, I can't do it unless, like, I only have some drinks in me or something. Like,
that's the same thing as a language
liquid
thing.
courage.
it is liquid courage. And you know, it's usually what it is I usually have one friend that is the icebreaker. Like, he's crazy. He's like, so he goes up to the girl, like, says some funny shit. I go up to the girl right after him, like, 웃기죠? 이 친구 되게 웃기죠? He's funny, isn't he? Yeah. And then I just kind of come in there, you know what I mean? But I always need like a friend, like my boy Rek is kind of usually that guy.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Rek is funny.
He's
a
bold.
little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. You actually don't,
Yeah.
you know, for a chef, you know, like that life is pretty quiet. Like, you know, in the kid, like you're kind of, I mean, is it a very talkative kind of environment or what?
What, in the kitchen?
Yeah, kitchen.
It depends on what kind of kitchen you're working in. And like if you're in a Michelin star restaurant kitchen, then it's kind of like head down cook. I mean, for the most part, it's like that. Unless you're in front of the house where you're, you know, a bartender or server. Usually you have more of a personality. So it depends.
Do you ever yell at people?
Do I ever?
Yell at people, like underlings?
No, I don't do that. It's not my style.
But I mean, okay, so I mean, I've seen videos of you, like in the Iron Chef and stuff, where in the kitchen, you're talking to your other chefs, like, what is it? What do you call it? Assistant chefs?
My sous chefs.
Sous chefs. And when they address you, they're like, okay, chef, like, is that like a proper kind of respect thing that happens in the kitchen?
For sure. Like, you only call one person chef. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, chef is chef. And you have to earn the title.
Got you.
You know, and it's a sign of respect, and it's like everybody calls you chef. So
it's like the nurse to a doctor or something like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, you know, when you call someone doctor, whatever, Dr.
A
Choi
rapper's
or
gonna
whatever.
cop that one day.
Yeah.
Start calling people chef.
Yeah.
But the real chefs will get mad at you. It's
Oh,
like,
really?
that title is earned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. Like when I was a cook and one of my chefs would like jokingly call me chef, the other sous chefs would get like really pissed because they're like, why are you calling her chef when she's a cook? It took me like 20 years to earn this title. You know,
Wow.
like, yeah. It's
So
like
it would rub you the wrong way if somebody didn't address you as chef in the kitchen. They were just like, Esther.
Hell no. Like, no, I mean, also that never happens. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
You know, it's like chef choice. Like, you know, when you call someone a doctor, it's like, it's just what it is, you know? And once you're chef, you're forever a chef. It's always Chef Choi.
You know, you have your specialty is Korean cuisine as well. Like you've done so much fusion stuff and create. You know, since you've been here? How often do you come here?
So not as often as I should and want to. The last time I came here was right before the pandemic, though, and then that trip it was like I haven't been for years. Yeah.
And
So
you've been here since 2008, and you haven't gone back.
Nope.
what at all?
Nope.
He's been here since 2008 and hasn't gone back to the States once.
That's crazy. But why? No, you're not curious?
I don't even know. I don't even know.
He just kept watching the news. He's like, America's fucked up right now.
I mean,
That's half the reason. And once you get to Korea, I mean, before you get to Korea, you don't even know what kind of country this is. I mean, okay, now everyone knows what kind of country is. Korea's a thing right now. Korea's so popular.
It's having a moment.
It's having its moment. Korean music, Korean dramas, and everything. Everybody wants to be part of Korean food. Everybody wants to be part of Korea. I mean, the whole mukbang phenomenon all started in Korea too. You know. But think back to 2008 when I came to Korea. Everyone's like, "Oh, are you in North Korea or South Korea?" I mean, my cousins were like, "What are you doing in China?" I'm like, "I'm not in China."
They didn't even know the difference of stuff.
Yeah,
it's true.
right.
I mean,
2008.
It is true.
I mean, think back to 2008. That's when people were still using iPhone 1s. You know, this is a different time period. You know,
iPhone 1s. Yeah, that's how you judge the period. That was the iPhone 1 era. Yeah,
iPhone 1 era. 2007, iPhone came out.
But you know what? It's true because I come from the battle rap world, right? And when we were doing battles, I'm getting hit with all the Asian jokes, and it really opened my perception on what people knew about Asian shit. Because I'm getting hit with Asian jokes and all they know is certain things about Asian people. Now, if I battle somebody, they might hit me with like Parasite, Crazy Rich Asian. Like there's so much shit now you can actually like roast somebody with.
Before it was just like,
back then it was like
Asian.
Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, Driving Bad, this shit, that shit. Like now there would be a bunch of Korean shit you could actually hit people with. They'd be like, your hair looks like Bong Joon-ho or something. They'll say a director.
They didn't generalize.
Whoa, that actually slaps. Like, whoa.
And when you have more cultural, like when accuracies even in jokes, like it hits harder.
It hits harder.
You know what I mean? So I mean, it is true. It is a different time. I mean, you've seen it so much living here, probably, right?
Absolutely. Actually, that's why I hate. I know this is gonna sound a little bit hateful and mean, but
what?
I hate when people confuse me with like a Korea boo.
with a what?
A Korea boo. So if you don't know, Korea boo is
what is that?
like
a fan, like what would you say, a fandom? Like
you're like obsessed with Koreans.
Like otakus or something, like anime nerds, but for Korea.
Yeah.
People are just
is that like a fetishizing thing or no?
It's half of it's a fetishizing.
It's a part
thing.
like you're so much of a fan of it.
Yeah.
So you got that a lot, probably.
No, I didn't for a long time. Even after I started Korea for a long time, but then, the whole BTS phenomenon, a lot of K-dramas blew up. You got a lot more people, coming to Korea to do content and stuff, and you get the people who aren't from the YouTube side or people who are new to Korea, and to some extent, the Korean community. I wouldn't say like I'm respect, but people at least know who I am, and they're like, this guy's been here for a while. And a lot of the foreigners here, they're like, oh, I used to learn from your videos and stuff. But then there are the people who are like, oh, why are you in Korea? Oh, you like K-pop? You into Korean girls? I'm like, oh, what?
It's always that. You're into Korean women. Always.
I've been here since 2008, and I was over it a long time ago, to be honest.
Surprisingly, because even when I met him, like I was introduced to his content, and I was like, who's this dude, blah, blah, just another white dude. But if you look at his content, and also his fan base in Korea, like people really fuck with this dude, because internationally, he's like a good insight into the culture, and he's respectful, and he's really immersed into the culture.
Right.
All my rapper homies, all my entertainer homies know him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm walking around with this fool. People recognize this dude,
So who is your fan base, your demographic? Generally, is it international? Is it a Korean?
It depends on the time period.
Time period. Okay.
In the beginning, it was like 100% Korean. Then it transferred to more because when Korea started getting popular, a lot more of the international audience came, and then Koreans didn't really fuck with me as much anymore when there were so many English comments. Koreans are all about, and now it's coming back to the Koreans again because I stopped catering so much to the, that crowd.
Wait, so are your videos in Korean or?
Yeah, they're mostly in Korean.
They're all in Korean. Okay.
Like 90.
So you're fluent.
90%. Yeah, I'm 100% fluent.
100%.
I mean, that's why he didn't leave. He was like, if I leave Korea, I'm gonna lose credibility here.
No, it's not even. No, it's true. I think about it this way. A lot of my content, it's not all about Korea. A lot of the content is, language comparison, introducing other countries to Korea. That would work anywhere in any other country. But I'm thinking, at this point, if I go back to the States, I don't have a degree. I don't know as many people.
But you don't need none of that shit, though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have a degree,
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess I could do editing work and stuff, but.
I mean, there's a lot of good content here to be made, though.
Yeah.
So.
I'm so comfortable here, too, man. 15.
This is your home.
Yeah, it's my home. 14, 15 years. That's a long time.
So can I ask you a question? Are you friends with more Korean people
Yeah.
or like international?
Not Kyopos, which is
No, not
Kyopos meaning foreigner Koreans.
Koreans. Yeah.
Oh, really? That's interesting. And
At least
how did
10
you meet
times
these
more.
people?
I mean, I've known a lot of these people for a long time. You know,
Did you like teach English here? See, this is probably a common thing that people ask you. Right?
no, but I don't know if I should say this, but you know, I did a couple of under the table gigs here and there.
Yeah, you were a male escort or what?
Yeah, I do this thing called the tornado.
And you worked at the karaoke stripping. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, no judgment. I mean, I've been hearing a lot about that culture here.
Yeah, I don't think they would hire me even if I tried to report them. No, but yeah, I mean, it is interesting with your content because you don't necessarily you're not teaching like English to Koreans
I'm
even
not.
in your content or
And
nothing
I'm not
like
even
that.
teaching Korean to English speakers either. I'm just
He's really immersed here.
I'm just
you
doing
know?
stuff and people are watching it. I don't know why. It's kinda
Well, let me
weird.
ask you, Esther, like how much does Korea as a place where you might actually do business interest you? Is this a place that you would actually maybe open up something?
I don't think that I would open up a restaurant, but I definitely want to do business out here because I want to bring Korean products over to the US, right? Like my main business is in the US. I just think it would be too difficult for me to like create a brand here and like be someone here.
It's taking
right?
some inspirations from here and take it globally. You have a sesame oil 참기름 business.
I do called Sessi. It's a infused sesame oil.
Infused sesame oil
Infused.
with something that's maybe not legal here.
yeah, maybe we won't talk about that.
I mean, you could. It's not. that doesn't really. You
yeah.
don't. It's not like you have. It's.
I mean, I'm American. Like,
Yeah, she's
exactly.
American.
I'm
So it's
super
a
American.
CBD oil infused sesame oil.
Yes.
And this is for consumption or
Consumption, yes. You can cook with it. You can, sprinkle it on, drizzle,
Yeah.
on things. And it really came from my love of obviously the cannabis industry, which I love very much, and it's
Yeah.
growing. And so it was like a business idea, but also I want to just create a line of my own products, but I want the products to come from the origin, which is Korea. So
Gotcha.
right now I'm working on bringing like gochujang that's made in Korea over to the US. So that's going to be my next
That's
CPG
infused
item.
with-
Not an infusion. yeah.
I've been in Korea for so long, so even
Oh.
hearing that conversation
Oh.
kind of like makes me a little bit.
yeah,
Are
yeah.
you scared? Are you scared? Oh.
I mean, it's not. It's not. Yeah, we're not.
I know.
We'll just call it getnip. You know what I mean?
But
Getnip.
it's just crazy how hardcore it is here.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. I mean,
People
we
in
come.
prison.
Yeah, I mean, we come so respectfully, obviously coming in, not respectfully, but carefully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of us, like make sure you got to be careful coming
I miss
into this.
it.
Yeah.
I miss it.
Wait, didn't you come over here when you were like 14?
No,
wait.
kidding.
Yeah. Wait, so how old were you when you got here?
I was 19 or 20.
Damn, bro.
Because I remember I turned 21 in Korea, but I could drink before that.
All right, let's do. Maybe you'll get used to it this time and you won't shit on Jay's soju.
I really like the soju. So this is the more
Shit.
traditional taste. Like this is what soju is supposed to taste like.
Really?
Yeah. So
your soju.
Of course, I know my sojus. I know.
Whoa.
Oh my god, no!
battle right here.
This
This is a good question. Let me ask you the one thing before you. Damn, Esther's is going in.
All right.
I was drink this first. Here you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry, I just drank it.
Nah, it's okay.
This is a question. Let me ask you this. Is it difficult, for instance? Damn, bro.
Ah,
Could you at least pretend you fuck with it, please? Okay, let me ask you this. So, like right there, she says something culturally about the soju.
Yeah.
And you disagree.
Yeah.
Is it difficult to have this battle, right? Because she's Korean, but
I'm also a chef.
But you've also been out here immersed in the culture longer than both of us.
That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I feel like that would be like a kind of a difficult challenge thing to have.
I got a lot of 교포 동생
Yeah.
here in Korea now, and most of them look up to me for even like advice in Korea, and a lot of and language helps sometimes even. And I'll reverse the question. You're Korean American, right?
Right.
Would it be odd for a white guy to ask you something about the States?
A white guy. Wait. So I'm getting confused.
I'm
white
trying to
dude
reverse the question back,
I see.
your way.
Yeah. Well, no, because America is like everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't. It doesn't work like that.
Yes, you're right. All right. You know what my friends call me? My friends call me reverse Gilpole. Like reverse Gilpole because I'm.
God, that's like.
But you know what? This is actually just a tricky question in general because, to be honest, like people should respect that you've been here a long time too. No matter, you know what I mean? Because even though we are Korean too, there's a different culture. I would say I'm more American at times too. You know what I mean?
I'm American. I mean, what would you consider yourself? Korean American or American Korean?
I always joke around that I'm not. I'm besides just Korean and American. I'm more Koreatown. Like I'm a neighborhood, you know what I mean? Like, but that's what people are. Like, there's certain neighborhoods in different parts of the country and in states. That's just like your own identity.
Yeah.
Like America is 50 fucking states.
Yeah.
Each state is a fucking different state. You know what I mean?
A different country.
Going
almost.
to New York to LA, Hawaii to Oregon.
Yeah, right.
That's why we can't unite over there. It's 50 different motherfuckers like trying to get along. You know what I mean?
It's too big.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Can I answer the question in a kind of neutral fashion? I think it depends on the issue. In my recent video, I've even said like, I don't feel comfortable commenting on stuff like the Korean military because I don't have a right to speak on it, even though I've been in Korea for so long. And it's something and for example, growing up as a Korean kid, like in the 2000s,
right?
That's not a subject I'm allowed to speak on. It's no matter how Koreanized I've become, it's not something I have the right to speak on. But in terms of what soju should taste like or what's considered Korean trends at the moment, I think I'm just as much of a legitimate.
Well, I heard soju is different in the States than here. The taste of it. That's what I heard. I heard like even chamisu, all the other sojus.
Yeah, it's different, right?
We talked about this. Yeah.
Is it sweeter?
With saccharin or something.
Yeah.
In Korea.
They said they put something like another ingredient in the Korean one.
It's not allowed in the States.
That's not allowed because it's that dirty. So let me just tell you or school you about soju in general. Okay. Soju does not mean that it's that green bottle, the iconic green bottle. That is not soju. It's a distilled alcoholic beverage, right? And soju came from. I mean, they used to make soju years and years ago. Yeah. Before the green bottle that even came out, right? And it's supposed to be distilled with rice, but then later on they started doing it with sweet potato because rice was so expensive because of the war, and then, so they created this green bottle and they branded it and made it super cheap and affordable. And that's what soju became. So and that's what people know soju as now. But really, soju should taste like this. This is the real traditional way of making soju.
What are you comparing this to? What soju have you had that's
there's a lot, like my friend.
Like an older, like a soju that's distilled at like a private brewery type thing? Or what? Like in a bathtub and shit? Like
maybe not in a bathtub. I wouldn't drink that. No, but now there's a lot of boutique brands all over Korea that's distilling it the right way, the traditional way, the way it should be made. And this tastes
similar to that.
And this is what it is.
$50 for a bottle of soju.
Exactly. Like Toki soju, Toki soju is one of the real popular ones. Those guys are really good friends of mine.
It's about time though, that people started making
and it's kind of like
nice Korean alcohol.
In Japan they have a thing called shochu, right? Or even sake, and everything's so refined, right? And there's like 50 million different types of like shochu and sake, and now they're doing that with soju, and now it's becoming like this art form. And that's why it's so beautiful, because it shouldn't be that gross. Seriously,
so you like the traditional taste.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like the green bottle too, because it kind of reminds me of college and like what I grew up with.
You drink a lot of soju, by the way.
I drink.
I've seen your content. I've seen your content. Like she's cooking. She's like a little bit for this and a little bit for me. It's like
and this was my idea. I was like, don't forget to bring the soju.
Yeah, she did say that. She did say that. She drinks.
Is it weird that I get like this sense of warmth and pride when like things in Korea start blowing up a little bit? Like now that Korea's making all these different kinds of like you said, boutique sojus and nice soju. Japan always has, you go to a Japanese restaurant and there's all these different options for different kinds of sake and stuff like that.
It's like wine,
Exactly. And it's kind of cool that Korea's, at least has the position in the world to be able to financially afford and profit off making nicer sojus.
Let's be real, because the green bottle is a conglomerate. Like it's all,
Wait, can we get the AC on a little bit? It's kind of hot in here. Am I tripping? It's all right if there's a sound. It makes a sound. I don't give a fuck.
Maybe it's the soju.
Yeah, maybe it's the soju. It feels fucking hot as fuck.
Yeah, it is really hot,
Yeah,
though.
it's all right. We're not gonna do any edits. We just keep doing it. My pod has no edits. But you know what? I agree because, you know, as Korea, as one of the fastest developing countries, like it's kind of crazy. I guess maybe a lot of the traditions get lost in a certain age period. So, for instance, like we know like ancient Korea, right? There's a lot of ancient content. There's museums and shit, but there isn't a lot of stuff from like Korea 1950s to like 2000. And what I mean, even collectibles, cartoons. You know, I frequent this spot in Hongdae, Purara Toy Museum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
interesting.
and they have toys from like, you know, like
I would go
70s,
there.
80s, 90s.
I spent $100 there.
Me too. I just came from there. I bought like 10 adult magazines from the
I have a
80s and
couple.
90s because that era, it's not just because I'm a fucking pervert. You know? It's not because I'm a pervert.
yeah.
Okay.
No, but I have that because I like looking at pictures of how people looked at that period. You know what I'm saying? And like the culture and knowing that
What did they
like
look like?
sex and like, well, not even just how they look, but also like that there were things like that existed in the 80s and 90s, you know, like sexual expression, photography and nudity. It's the thing about Korea that's interesting is like that used to be on magazine stands in the early 90s. And now it's not, which is weird. It almost feels like a step backwards in sexuality
That's
almost.
true, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like to me, like I'm trying to have the biggest collection of adult magazines in Korea. Korean adult magazines. I have like a stack like this much from
That's
80s
cool.
and 90s.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, every time I go there, I just buy out the store from the ajushi. I also don't even like talking about the store. I don't
the
like
guy
to put it
with
on
the-
blast. Yeah.
the beard.
Yeah. I don't like to put it on blast because that's one of my favorite stores in Korea. Like
You don't want people
favorite.
to know about it.
I don't, but it's.
How'd you find out about this? that
I
place?
looked it up.
I've been going there for years.
Yeah, you know,
man.
so I went.
Near
My first time I
house.
went was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But what I did was I looked up vintage collectibles, blah blah. I couldn't find a single place. It's literally the
Yeah.
only
Oh, I
fucking
wanna
place
go.
in all of Korea.
Really?
It's
Yeah,
the
I
only
wanna go
place in
there.
all of Korea that has this kind of shit. They have old vintage posters from early 90s K-pop shit to 80s
Yeah.
toys, mangas, comic books, and all this shit. And I was like, damn, like, and he put out a book. He wrote a book about that, like about collectibles and why also there isn't a lot of places that have that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Why is it?
I think it was like Korea was developing so fast to try to look into the future of like, you know, just moving forward so much that they weren't into this idea of like archiving those decades. You know what I mean? So it goes from like ancient traditional shit that we're proud of to like the modern era of Samsung entertainment, like
Right.
all this shit, you know?
Korea was a third world country until the 90s, until the early 90s. You have to think about that. That time they're not thinking about preserving, or there's in this like there aren't subcultures at the time. People are just trying to
Yep.
make enough money to get through.
I know, right?
The North Korea was economically a stronger country
Yeah.
for a long time than South Korea.
That is crazy to think.
Yeah, and
That's
then
crazy.
IMF, you know, like
Yeah,
all
IMF,
that, getting
yeah.
over that.
Yeah. It is. It's crazy. Like that's why there wasn't a period of archiving and, like you said, subcultures and stuff. Everyone was just trying to make things bigger, better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, let's get a little kimbap action here too.
Can I get some soju too?
You want some more
Yeah.
soju?
I already.
Yeah, see, he likes it.
I'm already.
See?
Gonna,
Maybe at this point you
Yeah.
don't fuck with it because
Yeah.
But yeah, there's something so special about,
I wonder if this
you
is
know,
stronger.
It is
I think
stronger. It is stronger.
It tastes.
Because I'm already kind of
Yeah.
buzzed low key.
Me
Shit.
too. I'm
It is.
buzzed.
It's a lot stronger.
feel
The
good.
percentage is a lot
Shout out
higher.
my boy Jay. He's not even paying me for this, by the way. He's not paying
I
me.
think that's like 23%, maybe, and the regular soju is like 14%.
Maybe Jay could put me on the ads
Yeah.
like those cute soju
Oh,
girls.
yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think you do it.
Like the Hyori ads. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, but I'd probably decrease the sales.
decrease. So I don't want to drink what he's drinking.
All right. Here you go, another shot.
Oh, cheers!
Cheers, guys. Yo, Jay, Esther loves the soju here, so
The soju is very, very good. Very good.
he's gonna be happy to hear that.
And he's
it's
like,
it's stronger though. It's more
Next
bitter.
shot
Yeah.
after this. I don't want you to make a fucking face.
Okay,
no
I'll try,
face.
I'll try.
No
okay,
real shit.
because so it's like this. This is like sipping soju, but could you sip the green bottle? Hell no. Nobody wants to sip
I
that.
could sip that.
Really?
I sip
That
it.
yeah, it's good.
I don't
God,
sip it.
you
I always do a
guys,
half
gross.
a shot. I always do a half a shot.
Because it's nasty.
No, because this is okay. I'll be honest. This is harder soju. It's. You say it's smoother?
It's smooth and it just tastes so much better. It's like
Wait, when you-
smooth in the sense where it's
When you go to a bar, what's your drink of choice?
Depend like cocktail wise or
cocktail.
I'm dirty martini gal.
Dirty martini.
Dirty martini.
That's gin.
I like vodka dirty martini.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my
What's your drink of choice?
Gin tonic or whiskey on the rocks.
Okay, well,
Nice
those are
choice.
two
What
different
about you?
things. I'm vodka soda.
Vodka soda.
But that's because like I'm all like fitness.
Oh, like
Gin tonic. Gin tonic.
Well, it's just like it's the healthier drink of choice
No
alternative.
sugar. I mean-
Yeah, no sugar.
Isn't
Yeah,
gin tonic that?
Tonic kind of has
tonic
sugar.
has sugar.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
sweet.
soda. This is soda water
Yeah.
and vodka.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
It's
on
the most clean tasting thing.
You know,
Yeah.
there was. Do you remember the period of time where Koreans, besides soju, the drink that they fucking loved was Jameson?
That was the Korean Americans, no?
Is it? I mean,
Yeah.
not Korea, but
Yeah.
I mean, a Korean American. Did you know
Oh.
this, Dave? Like,
Oh my
Korean
God, Jameson
Americans
all
love
day.
Jameson.
I didn't know
Love
that.
Jameson.
It was almost like the second to soju.
Yeah,
like, they
Jameson.
loved
wait.
Jameson.
Or Johnny Black.
Yeah.
Johnny Black too.
It was an Irish thing. My dad always grew up drinking Crown
Oh God, gross.
Royal.
Yeah, that was
I've
another
done-
thing
yeah.
too. That was
Koreans
another
like that
big
Valentine.
thing.
Koreans love
Oh,
Valentine.
yeah, Valentine. Yeah.
I used to, that purple
Yeah.
sash.
Yes, yes.
I used to hold my pogs there. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
Yes,
course
the
no
thing
one
that you don't you like do
yeah.
the.
Well, how old, what's your year?
I'm 85.
80, oh, you're 1 year
Yeah.
older than me. Yeah.
Oh,
So you
I
remember
am.
Pogs?
Yeah, Pogs.
We grew up on
Of
Pogs.
course,
Do you remember
definitely.
Pogs? Yeah.
You like to do the
January
thing.
89.
Oh, okay.
Oh, 89?
January, yeah. So
little-
There was a
little-
time Pogs was everywhere, and then literally years after, you couldn't find a single Pog anywhere.
Can you buy Pogs now?
You
Yeah.
could, but isn't that kind of weird? Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
There's things like that, like that's just a huge trend everywhere. Everyone has it. Tamagotchi,
Tamagotchi, yeah.
Pogs, yo-yos, and then years
Pokemon
like
cards.
3-4 years passed, and you can't. There's nobody has
Can't
that
find
shit.
it, yeah.
That's so fucking wild.
I'm starting to collect old Furbies.
Furbies were a huge
Oh.
thing. That was a hot Christmas item at one
Yeah.
point.
Trolls? No.
Those are huge. You
No.
That's a little before, yeah.
I
guys
mean,
remember old Nickelodeon shows, Ren and Stimpy?
Yeah, of course, of
Rocko's
course.
Modern
Of
Life?
course, of
Oh,
course.
man.
What's the big trend right here these days?
In Korea?
Yeah. There has to be some stuff, right? Every year there's something.
What, like a toy?
Anything, any kind of trend. What's up? Can I ask you this? Because I've noticed this, and I don't know what the deal is. You know, girls have the little roller on the hair, the bangs.
So that
Is
way-
that a trend? Is that a trend or what?
No, that's
Well-
always that.
Well, they do it so their bangs retain the shape,
Mm-hmm.
but at this point, it's like
But they wear it publicly.
exactly. At this point, it's kind of like a cute little thing that they do. Like,
So it's a trend to even just wear it out while
Really?
you're actually.
Really?
girls wear that roller on their
Yeah.
hair outside.
I see the girl. I thought they were just wearing it to make sure that their bangs.
I mean, they eventually take it off. If they don't take it off, then they're just.
But it's like it's like a hair accessory now too, right? Like
That's a
would you say that?
weird
It is,
accessory.
right? It's like a.
And also like the thing for irjin, you know that?
Yeah, irjin,
What's that?
like I guess school bullies. Irjin, like the
Yeah, every Korean drama has that one girl with the fucking roller, and she's kind of tough.
Oh,
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, kudeuja, like she's like, that's my chair or some shit, you know, like, yeah. She's always wild as fuck, rough around the edges, you know what I mean? But yeah, I just noticed that. But what? Give me a trend. What's a hot trend here?
I don't know what is the hot trend right now. I play a lot of games, man. Koreans are all about games.
Oh, gaming.
There's a lot of food trends always every year.
Food trends always. I mean,
food
this
trends right now.
like it's a little weird too. Like, do you guys taste the tteokbokki? It has curry in it.
Oh,
It's like curry tteokbokki.
Last time I was here, there was a line around the block for like waffles or pancakes or some shit.
yeah, those like
Like, it was
waffle, yeah.
really like that was like a trend. It was like a line for a Supreme drop, you know, people waiting for.
Yeah. I mean, people stand in line for everything here. It's a food trend right now that
When I know there's like always music trends, but
I shouldn't be asking us. We're too old for this shit. We're too old for
I know.
trends.
I'm
We
like,
don't,
I don't know any trends.
we don't know any trends.
I know who's a popular YouTuber and stuff, but I don't know, man.
What are what's the kind of the next steps for you guys? I feel like, did you think that as you guys started this, there would be like other realms you can get into? Like you as a chef, you know, you're cooking, you have a restaurant. That seems like that's all I ever wanted, you know?
Right.
And then did you think that you can go into these other realms where it's like maybe I could be a TV host?
Well,
you know?
I think this is what happened. It's like you have a dream, right? And then you achieve it, and then what now, right? Then you kind of become kind of a little depressed because I think a lot of like great things about being successful is like the dreaming part and building part, right? And once you achieve it, then you're like kind of, what am I going to do? And so for me, it was kind of like that. Like when I opened my dream restaurant, I was like, okay, now what? So then you start doing more stuff and creating more dreams for yourself. And then you get kind of bored. I mean, that's me. I get kind of a little bit bored. So then I want to dabble in other things and learn.
I think that's what it is. What you just said. It's like, that's one of the biggest things. It's you get bored of something. And this is for a lot of kids and young people watching, I would say, is because you have this one dream that you want to achieve, and like you realize that's not just it. Like there's a second chapter to life. There's a third chapter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And those second, third chapters are great, right?
Yeah.
And I think age and maturity has a lot to do with it, but not even so. Not. I think it's like phase of your life, right? Like I've done the phase of my life of opening restaurants, and now I'm kind of doing more entertainment and trying something new.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm sure I'm gonna want to do something else, right? And it's okay.
It's good to retain that though. If you don't, then I mean that's why you see a lot. You know, there are people who all they want is to make people. There are people with different goals in life. There are people who like a normal salary is all they want in life. They just want a job, you know. And then there are people who want to get famous, want to get rich, and sometimes you see a lot of successful celebrities and they're going through a lot of depression or some real dark stuff, and then people are like, oh, they're rich and famous. Why are they even? And it leads to goals. Once you attain something, it equals you become lethargic. You don't.
The down is so like down. You know?
Humans are disgusting.
Yeah, we're gross.
We just want more. No matter how much we get, we just want more.
Right.
Nobody's ever content with what they have. Doesn't matter if it's in a smaller or larger scale.
There's a few that do, live on a minimalist level and live off the grid or whatnot. And it is, because I'm not one of those type of people. So it is like really interesting and fascinating. I mean, do you think that is kind of an ultimate goal for humans to be able to live in that capacity?
I love that you say that, because honestly, my retirement or my end all be all is to just have a farm, grow my own food, cook my own food, and then like that's what I want to do, like the full ecosystem.
You don't think you'll be bored?
I mean, people say like, Esther, you can't live like that. You'll probably live like a week and die of boredom. But I don't think so, because like I get excited when I see the little seedling become a plant and become a fruit. That is what excites me.
But look at Dave Chappelle. Even he eventually came back.
True, and he's one of the most intelligent motherfuckers out there. I mean, and plus, as you're waiting for your harvest, you're doing a lot of shit in between. You know what I mean? It's not you just waiting for your, you're not just waiting for the seed. You're doing 1,000 different things in between. You know what I mean?
But, just like going on a hike, I don't know, it just sounds really amazing and dreamy to live like that. A very simple, humble life. But I also, have maybe 20 other homes in other cities at the same time, right?
Maybe when you do live off the grid and you're not distracted, time moves at a different speed.
Way slower, probably.
You think slower?
You appreciate the little things, I feel like.
Way slower. Probably.
Maybe not even slower. I was thinking the opposite. Maybe things
how?
I don't know. Like,
you're bored.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you know how like the Italians live like the beauty of living. There's a word for it, but like they just love life, just enjoying yourself, doing the art of doing nothing.
Italians,
right?
Do you think the one thing about Korea that it's a very entertainment driven country. Everyone's on their phone, constantly consuming. Because every place you go to, like a restaurant or a bar, they have a charging station for your phone. It's like important that our phones stay charged out here. Does that, do you think, affect people in general? Because I don't know, in what way? I don't know.
I went to Europe and it made me uncomfortable.
Well, because you're so Korean, you've been living here.
I've been living at such a fast pace. I went to Europe. I went to the Czech Republic, and there were just people standing around, just
watching.
What the fuck are you doing? What are you not doing? Like, do something. Like I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but people weren't on their phones all the time. There were people just walking, people doing. It was so slow.
Just people.
Well, you could be on your phone and not do shit.
Yeah.
That's what Americans do.
Bro.
We're on our phones not doing shit. I'm scrolling. My Explorer page is just filled with half-naked women. You know, it's just like, it's pretty sad. It's a really sad thing.
No, it is. You're right. You're right. We aren't doing anything. I guess, like you said, I've been in Korea too long. So
this is what I heard. Well, I read it in a book. Then they said that the Korean government actually created this society and had a plan that Korea would be the first in entertainment and be worldwide. And how they're going to do it is not through natural resources or anything like that. It was through entertainment and by being cool.
Yeah.
And how they did it was right after like IMF, whatever, the war, they just wired the entire country.
Right.
Gave everybody internet and it was free. Free internet for everybody, so that everyone's connected, and that's how they created this like world.
Damn, that's really forward thinking.
Korea's really cool though. Even I know Koreans are cool. Korea's cool. Even before when I first got to Korea, I was like, this place is so cool.
Even
Koreans
in
are
08?
cool. Yeah, even though I was this place is so cool. Koreans are so cool. Why am I the only one that sees this?
Koreans are very cool.
They're really cool, and I was confused. I felt like I found some unknown treasure.
Wait, how did you come here? Like, why did you come to Korea?
Yeah, why did you choose Korea
Do you
out
want
of all
the
the...
actual story, or do you want
You could have been World of Dave in Japan or World of Dave in Nigeria, World of Dave in Brazil, but why Korea?
I lived in Koreatown in Atlanta. You know, Atlanta's
like,
full of Koreans.
It's like Duluth? No.
Yeah, Duluth.
Duluth, yeah.
Absolutely, that's exactly where I was. My high school was 40% Korean.
40%?
Oh, wow.
My last name's Levine, so my entire homeroom was me and a bunch of Lees.
So after like David Lee, Peter Lee, they called David Levine.
Yeah.
And the roll call.
And there was a couple of L.I. Lees in there, Chinese kids.
Okay. So you grew up with Korean kids?
I grew up with Korean kids. I always had Korean friends.
That could go either way too. You could grow up hating Koreans too.
That's true. That's true. But they were
Like I hate these motherfuckers.
yeah.
there were a lot of
Goddamn.
kids who did hate Koreans.
There was
in
what?
my area. There was a lot of
In
anti.
Duluth.
Yeah, there was a lot of the, you know, those red looking pasty wrestler dudes who just hate anything that's.
Well, a lot of other Asians hate Koreans too.
That's true.
Like, you know, and this is not like, I'm not just talking like being racist. I'm just talking about humans, you know, and people looking at growing up together and being like, these motherfuckers are annoying. And sometimes everyone has that, you know what I mean? And that's part of knowing each other's culture too. That's what people don't realize.
A lot of it is
like
Korean
Yeah.
clique shit.
Yeah, we're cliquey and we're bullies, and we're pretty racist.
Yeah,
We have like that
there-
nationalistic mentality.
There's definitely a lot of nationalism, pride. Then
So prideful.
pride could be a monster. So
Yeah.
like, you know, if we had a panel of all the other like Asian representatives, like they would have stereotypes for us too. You know what I mean? Like they would be like, Koreans are this way.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
very judgmental
Yeah.
for sure.
Very, yeah, man.
I mean, we could be very elitist. We could be like, we're the, you know.
No, not very. Like
And we are. Like we're
super
just,
elitist, man.
like we're the best looking, we're the
like
best.
Korean. I'm sure LA was full of them. Korea mega churches.
Yeah, yeah. Church is a huge thing in the, you know, States
Koreans,
for Koreans.
they're mean. They're cliquish. They don't like to bring other people. But I was fortunate enough because I knew the right people, and they kind of. I was good at Counter Strike too, so all the kids fuck with me, and I just always had a good amount of Korean friends, and
They accepted you.
and I spoke. Am I allowed to say this?
No, just yeah. So you're hanging out
Say
with
whatever
them.
you want.
Yeah, I was chilling with my friends, and my friends like, dude, you want to go to Korea this summer? I'm going to see my family. I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go.
That's how it
Wait.
happened?
So you
That's
went
literally
with them when you were, or no?
You know how all Korean Kyopo kids, they'll go to see their like
the
aunts and
summer.
stuff in summer.
Yeah.
I just went with one of my friends,
And that's how it happened?
and I got here, and I'm like,
In 08?
Oh
in
my-
08.
That was the year you went.
That was the year.
What, you were like 17, 18? Just
No,
graduated?
I was like 19, 20.
Okay,
I was
just
like 19,
graduated high school.
Just graduated.
So you
19.
went with the friend, a Korean friend visiting for the summer.
Yeah, and I.
Did you just stay or did you go back?
I mean, yeah, I took a lot of. You know, there were a lot of ways to stay, and I just found ways to stay.
Like, what do you mean? Like, how?
Come on, I can't.
Oh, okay.
This is a long time
Girl.
ago.
But you did go back and then come back though.
I did.
Get your stuff.
No, I didn't go back.
Get it.
I didn't go back to Atlanta.
You didn't.
Oh my
I went
God.
to Japan and came back.
So you stayed out here.
Yeah, and I found, and I applied for schools and stuff like that. I found ways to stay. I just didn't want to go back.
Damn, that's crazy.
That is
didn't wanna
really
go back.
crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
You fell in love.
all legal too. I just,
You came back, you came to Korea and you were like, I'm home.
more than that, it
Like,
was
damn,
just cool, man.
Damn, that's crazy. So what is it about the country that instantly you were like, this is dope?
I don't even remember it anymore, man.
You don't remember, but it
Because it's
clicked.
cool.
I just felt cool. Felt you know how America is like the land of the free. This place felt free. No time constraints. Nobody cares what time you go to sleep. Nobody cares what time you eat. It's wild.
Was there less foreigners during that time too?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, it was awesome.
Wait, so there was a lot less.
Yeah, there were way less. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, I have a question. So one of my friends told me this trip, which I was kind of shocked, that if you're like white, some restaurants don't even let you in if you're like not Korean. Is
Yeah.
that so? Does that happen to you?
No, not to me. No.
Not to
Wait,
you.
but it
Why
doesn't-
not to
It
you?
still probably doesn't happen
It does.
anymore.
It
right?
No,
happens
it
a lot
does.
more. It
It
happens more
happens
now.
more
than-
now,
It
they
happens
say.
more now
Really?
than before.
They're
'Cause
like they hate like they don't let you in the restaurant.
right now, Koreans are not fans of foreigners.
Yeah.
Koreans do not like foreigners right now.
But you got a Korean haircut, so they let you in, right?
Yeah, do I?
Like especially
Bro,
if you
that's
go
a
down
Korean
to like
drama head ass haircut
Really?
right
Yeah,
there.
that's
Yeah,
very, very-
That haircut and those glasses right there, bro. That's some
Yeah.
Korean ass shit,
All right,
bro.
but let's say this was like 30 years ago. People would be like, "You're trying to be the Beatles."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine. Did you get a perm?
No, this is my hair.
And that shirt, isn't that the fucking the army shirt?
I did that.
That's the fucking army pattern,
it's
bro.
It's old Korean high school.
Oh,
Yeah,
high school,
it
yeah.
I did that
is,
for
it
you.
is,
I did
yeah.
that for
Okay,
you. I was
okay,
trying to bring
okay.
like. I know you like vintage shit. I just
Yeah.
brought some vintage.
Wait,
threads for you.
so they really do this? They don't let.
They don't let so
They don't like
especially in
foreigners right
Shigor, like in the countryside of Korea.
Why is that?
The foreigners have fucked up a lot
They-
the last few
yeah.
years, man. Foreigners have
They're
fucked
like
up a lot.
angry and they literally won't serve you. You're not allowed in the restaurant, they say.
It's the no mask thing. Foreigners really fucked up the whole no
Even
mask.
if
The
you-
anti-mask
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, they really fucked that. The whole COVID, the foreigners really messed. They really fucked
Oh.
up.
They don't play that anti-mask shit out here. You better wear a mask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better wear a mask. And you know, I remember if you went on TikTok and Reels and YouTube Shorts, it would just be all these videos of foreigners be like, you, fuck your mask," and with their soju bottles in the air. And
Wait, was there any Korean anti-maskers out here?
no,
There isn't, right?
no.
It doesn't.
I was
fly
like,
here.
there can't be like
No.
the Koreans at Times Square burning their mask. Like,
Nothing.
Yeah.
shit up.
I made a video against foreigners because of the fucking mask shit. I'm like, okay, I understand. You know, you got your freedoms, but you're visitors.
That shit's
Yeah,
a tricky
yeah.
thing because it's like, you know, there's as a society, like, yeah, I come from the land of the free.
Yeah.
The land of the free
Yeah.
in America. But it's like with a lot of that freedom and things that are written in the Constitution of that like freedom, like people abuse that freedom too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's like no societal like ways we work together to
Yeah.
make a
Oh.
country run.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, during
And-
COVID?
yeah.
I mean, it's
How
ridiculous.
was it in the States during COVID? I wasn't.
Fucking shit show.
What was it
What do you mean you
like?
seen the fucking news
Yeah.
shit? Like,
No, I don't.
Like no
You don't watch the news?
anti-vaxxers and you know
Yeah, what's up with that? What I know Kyrie Irving was an anti-vaxxer. That's all I know.
a lot of people.
I mean, there's a lot, but it's
Yeah.
like, you know, that's why you live a better, less stress-free life because you don't watch the fucking news.
I don't.
That we
It gives you anxiety.
Yeah,
News gives
it's-
you anxiety.
But after a while, but at least people stopped caring about COVID a lot sooner in the States,
Oh.
right? Korea extended it way too long.
What do you mean give?
Up until April, things were closing at 9 p.m. and you couldn't be with more than 2 people legally.
Oh, right.
It was it was like it took a really long time for Korea to go back to normal.
There was also, you know, when you come into Korea, you got to quarantine 2 weeks in a hotel
Yeah.
alone. A lot of it was a government facility. That's why I actually didn't come for the last 2.5 years because I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
My friend was taking business meetings during that time, and he came like 8 different occasions where he quarantined 2 weeks.
That's a waste of
That's
life.
crazy.
That's
Yeah.
life. That's 2 weeks of your entire life.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, but now it's more active than ever.
Yeah.
Korea
great
is
now.
like way more poppin' than it was pre-pandemic.
Oh, I agree.
Really?
People
Yeah.
go crazy.
I feel like it's such a different country. Like it's so different right now.
How?
I mean, I don't go clubbing and stuff, so I don't know. But when you go to like, let's say Karosugir, like what? It's like dead. You know? I don't know. There's some
When
parts
did you
of
get
it.
here? When did you get here?
When did I get here?
Yeah.
Last week.
Last week. but I mean the weather.
Is it because of the weather?
Yeah.
장마철?
It's been raining nonstop for the last 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
It's been
Wait,
Okay.
you don't go clubbing? You don't go clubbing in the States?
No. I don't
What
know.
do you do? You go to bars or lounges? How do you meet people? How do you like
You
meet?
go to Cheongdam lounges, don't you?
I like, places where I like, members. I like
Yeah.
quiet places where you can actually have a conversation without
same.
having to
Lounges,
scream.
same.
Yeah.
Like I just don't like having to like talk really loud because then I lose my voice.
Yeah.
That happens a lot.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my club isn't necessarily. It's weird. Clubs in America are not a good place to meet like girls or guys or whatever. But over here, it's a great place to meet girls.
Really?
Would you agree? It's like,
So have you met a lot of girls at the clubs?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like because there's more like girls here than dudes. The ratio.
Really?
Yeah, the ratio's better
Is
here,
it?
right?
Is the ratio more women, single women?
There's more
Single-
women than dudes at spots. I think it's
I don't
more
know.
rare you go into a club here and you're like, God damn, it's a sausage fest. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's maybe that's true, but I don't really go clubbing, so I
I've
don't
been
know.
to a club in so long.
Okay, you guys are fucking
I
boring.
know,
What the
we're
fuck is
so
wrong with you guys?
boring.
Yeah, damn.
He's like, you don't go clubbing.
I'm the
Yeah,
oldest one
yeah.
here. Oh no, I'm the you're older than
Yeah,
me.
I'm
COVID, man.
oldest.
COVID fucked that up. I mean,
Not what he said. He said they're crazy
I
right
still,
now.
I will say, I
Now
still
it's
like going out.
Oh.
I'm used to not going out now.
I still like
Okay.
going out. I'm 36. I'm older, but I think I still enjoy going out. I like being
Cheers.
social.
You wanna go
You know
to
what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Thursday. This is the first day of the weekend. Thursday is kind of the new Friday.
Yeah. I love being social. I'm pretty social, but club. I like going to like bars, like cocktail bars.
Yeah, same.
or,
I do too.
you
I
know.
like bars and lounges more.
Yeah.
Like, I would not really go to I also, let me refrain that. I don't go to really clubs out here. They're more like bars and lounges. They
They're
have
loud.
a DJ though.
Okay,
You know
they
what I
have a
mean?
DJ,
Like they have a
okay.
DJ. Like, yeah, I'm not going to like a
Yeah,
full
what do you?
club
Because
and throwing
club is like,
napkins.
club to me is like you're like you see people get-
I did. Arena used to be lit. There was a spot called Arena out here. That was a ratchet spot. Yeah, we'd be out
That
here.
place was so ratchet.
Yeah,
What is
was
it
lit.
like? You like just
It was a
dance
club.
like
It was a
crazy?
club.
It
It's
was
a
just a
club,
dirty club.
dirty club.
It's a dirty club for all the Gangnam boys and girls.
No, it was lit. It was like it was cool because they
Yeah,
played.
it was lit, but it was
hip hop.
dirty,
It was
yeah.
hip hop. You know, like a lot of the places play EDM, but at least it was like.
Do you
hip-hop.
remember when you get desperate and it goes past like 6 a.m. and you end up at the EDM place and you're just like, what the
No,
fuck
I
am
didn't
I
do
doing?
that
You never
shit.
did that.
But there's nothing grosser than coming out of the club
Sunlight.
and I just see them walking to their heads out like they're going to the fucking workplace, and you're coming out. You're like, oh my god, shit.
It's like
man.
walk of shame, but
It's
not the
fuck-
type of walk of shame
Exactly. It's more embarrassing when you're not leaving with anybody and you're leaving by yourself
So-
while everyone's going to work. It is the worst fucking thing. But yeah, that shit was it's gross when you come out the club and the sun is up. That's that's
I've
only
never done that, so I don't know.
you can't. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't in the States. Nobody would in the States because even like New York, it would end at like 5 or something like that, 4 or 5.
4.
But the sun wouldn't be up.
No, yeah.
They over,
Here, what is it? Ends later than that?
There's
Like
clubs
six-
that go till 12 noon.
What
That's
the-
common.
There's clubs that go till
Common?
12 noon, right?
Yeah, it's common.
Like why though? Like why do you want to do
People
that?
want
to
to
yourself?
party. And people want to fucking party, bro.
I must say, I forgot how Koreans party. Like that's the one thing about this trip. I was like, damn, yo, you guys go hard.
They do.
Like every night.
They go hard in the States too, though. Koreatown in LA goes hard as fuck. Koreatown in New York goes hard as
What's
fuck.
Koreatown like?
You never been?
No, what's it like?
Koreatown,
Koreatown's
LA.
pretty amazing.
Koreatown, LA is
good?
It's
cool?
pretty lit.
Yeah, it's very
What's it
cool.
like? Is it big or small?
As you may know, I am somewhat a
I
city
know, I know.
councilman of the.
I saw the whole like.
Some may
Should be like
say
the
I am.
president of Koreatown.
Now I'm like mayor, district councilman, if you will. But it's lit. Nightlife is really popping in Korea.
How big is it?
It's big.
It's big.
It's pretty big, but everything's split up. It's like it's spacious, like very spacious. But we like that's why it's a different. Like for me, when I come here, it's fantastic. It's like a different country. But I have a lot of the culture in LA too. Koreatown has the food. A lot of chains actually from Korea too.
Sushi too and everything.
Suchips, pochas.
But everything in
Karaoke.
LA closes early though. That's the one thing because it's the 2 a.m.
It does
rule.
suck. 2 a.m. it closes.
Sucks.
So by 1:30 they're turning off the
Yeah,
lights.
and
Really?
it's just like wait, it's only 1:30 right now. Yeah, that's the one thing
Is
about
there any
LA.
place in the States? Are there any places in the States that are known for going a long time all night?
You can't. 4 a.m. is like max.
Really, no
Yeah.
matter where you go.
Well, I don't know about the other cities.
What about like
Yeah.
Vegas?
Oh, Vegas,
Vegas is
kind of like 24.
24.
Yeah, Vegas.
I didn't know anything about the States. I couldn't even legally drink before I got.
You are a Korean as fuck, bro.
I asked
You're
Americans
weird.
shit like that. I'm like, whoa, what's New York like?
Like, you haven't been back to the States? What the?
I don't even know what New York would feel like.
Why don't you
What
come
is New
visit?
York?
Yeah,
Why don't you
come
come
visit.
visit?
I'm afraid of flying.
You weren't
What?
afraid when you came here the first time around, motherfucker.
Yeah. But he
Oh,
didn't go back. He just stayed
That's
here.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me ask you. You know, like in Korean dramas, like Squid Game and shit.
Yeah.
They paint the white dudes to be like terrible motherfuckers. Like you remember the Squid Game VIPs? They're like the super like
Oh,
perverted,
God.
like number 69. I'll choose that one. You know, and like it's so funny how like white dudes are depicted in Korean dramas and shit.
Yeah.
Like they always choose the worst actors too.
Koreans don't like foreigners.
What was with the actors?
The actors, they
What?
choose the worst actors for the white.
Oh,
people
for
in
the
Korean
yeah.
Why?
Because I think that they don't like white people. Like Koreans hate foreigners.
Are they
right?
trying to paint them to be like evil or like terrible?
Yeah.
How did you win the hearts of Korea?
I didn't try. I didn't try to suck on that sweet titty of gukbong. There's a word for
What is that? What is that? Oh my god, I'm learning
Did
a
you say you
Korean
didn't
word.
suck on a Korean titty? Is that what you're just saying right
I said
now?
the titty of gukbong. How do you describe gukbong?
Gukbong?
It's a thing where it's
I can't believe I'm learning a Korean word from a white dude.
I mean
Crazy.
a lot of, I guess over pride for
Yeah.
your country.
Oh, okay.
A lot of foreigners, they'll do this gukbong stuff. They'll get on Korean TV and be like, "Oh, 한국 너무 사랑해요. 김치 너무
okay.
맛있어요."
Yeah.
You know, like
They're like, it
They
sounds
just-
clearly they're trying to.
they're
you know,
trying so hard to
Yeah.
win the hearts of Korea. Me, on the other hand, never.
That could backfire too, though, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it has backfired, but I'm just like 조카 씨발.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually say 뭐때 씨발. Like I'll like curse.
Or send back.
Sorry. I'll curse, and in the comments, I'll just be like, 네 얼굴. Like if they
But they
say
probably
anything.
love that because it's real.
Yeah, people are like
It's real. Yeah.
people. I don't give a fuck because I act in a way as if a Korean would act. So I don't try. I've even like gone and criticized this gukbong shit, made parodies and stuff of these foreigners who try so hard, and these people. A lot of these people are my peers, people I consider friends, but I fucking can't stand what they do. And I would rather give up potential money and fame than throw away everything that I believe in and try too hard to.
Have you had any moments in your content being in Korea that you almost got canceled for something?
Yeah,
What?
twice.
What was it?
The first time was such a stupid mistake. It was like 2014, and this was, if you think about 2014, that's still a long time ago. At the time, I'd been in Korea for like 4 or 5 years.
Right.
So it's sure I know Korea, but I don't know Korea. At 4 years, you know a culture, but you don't know the deep underwindings of a culture.
Right.
This guy MC Mong, you've ever heard
Oh,
of him?
I know MC
Yeah.
Mong.
He skipped the military service.
I remember he took his teeth out.
Yeah, he took his teeth out, and he just released a song. And I remember I used to watch when I first came to Korea, 1박 2일, this show, and he was on that, and I was like, well, I said some shit like, "What's up with all these keyboard warriors? Oh, who cares? Just let it, who cares about his comeback?" Biggest mistake I ever made. First of all,
Why?
because
Wait, hold on. Let me
Wait.
put the context just for people who don't
Yeah.
know. So there's 2 years mandatory military service for any male in Korean under the age of 35 or something like that, 40. I don't know. Anyways, you got to serve mandatory 2 years. MC Mong, who was an artist out here, try to avoid that by like taking a certain amount of teeth out, because if you don't have a
Really?
certain amount of teeth or something,
I didn't know that.
so he purposely removed his teeth and gotten canceled pretty much. You know what I mean?
That's
So-
why he got canceled.
he
because
got
of
the
that.
opportunity to go to the military, and he still, because they can't prove it technically, but it's obvious he took the teeth out to skip the military service. And like, okay, you got to go, and he still was like,
No.
no. And he pretty much sacrificed his career for.
Wow.
And
I
then
didn't know
so
that.
what you saying is that you commented like, why are we talking about this kind of thing?
Keyboard warrior 새끼들 왜 이렇게 예민해? Like I said some stupid shit that I shouldn't have said.
Like, why are we talking about this kind of shit? Like,
why is this a big deal?
Yeah.
And my dumbass, first of all, remember how I commented as a foreigner, I don't have rights to speak on certain issues? I should have kept my fucking mouth
That was one of
shut.
those moments.
I shouldn't have even commented. Who
So they
cares?
went crazy on you or what?
Well, to my defense, I didn't realize how sensitive of a topic it was.
Right.
And now, especially now, being in my 30s, all of my friends, I've visited friends in the military.
Yeah.
I've seen friends cry just because of how miserable they are because they just want to get out, or friends who are proud of what they did.
Right.
And I commented lightly on something that's not a light issue. It's a heavy issue.
Right.
It was just stupidity. And when I got attacked, after the fact, I was like, yeah, I deserve that shit. I did my apology. I was honest. I was like, I didn't realize how heavy of an issue it is. I didn't upload for like a month or two. Came back, people were like, welcome back. We like you, but you don't talk
Don't
about
do that shit again.
Don't do that shit. And then second time was Korea had a big feminism movement during the Me Too days, and I didn't do anything actually. I didn't deserve this at all. People were very sensitive about content that compared women and men. Like men do this, girls do this.
Right.
And I compared. You guys ever heard of a game called Overwatch?
Yeah.
No.
It's like a PC game, like a computer game.
There was a character called Diva. It's just and she's a Korean girl, Song Hana. And I looked up Song Hana because I didn't know. I was like, so what is that in English? Hana song? And then I clicked it, and there was some like 야한 사진. And I was like, oh, 뭐야 이거?
A sexy photo.
이런 것도 있어? And that's it.
And you got
They
canceled.
said I'm. They said what else? They say I got attacked in a feminism forum. They said I was materializing women. What's it called?
Materializing women?
Yeah, I guess
Or
objectifying women.
Yeah.
Objectifying women. And there was like 50,000 retweets. How I learned from Hannamchung, like dirty Korean men. That I'm like, wait, what?
Yo,
this is a video game character. What the
he's
fuck?
so Korean.
I will
Oh my
say,
God.
if anything, Koreans invented cancel culture. They invented cancel culture. They've been canceling motherfuckers way before America's been canceling people.
That's true.
Like real shit.
I just got some PTSD thinking
Yeah,
about this.
this one wanted a shot after that fucking thing right there. Esther, I gotta ask you, have you gotten some shit at all in that realm? Because I feel like in food it happens a lot. Because,
What do you mean, like can't like?
because when you're making a certain kind of cuisine or doing fusion or American version of stuff, people have all these, thoughts on how food should be prepared. Like
Right.
Uncle Roger does that, right?
God.
Our friend Nigel, who was on the pod, his whole content is roasting American, non-Asian
Asian,
chefs when they do Asian cuisine.
And fuck it up.
Yeah. Do you get anything in particular? Like, I guess you making Korean food, you get the pass to make the Korean food, right? Like, so you don't get any criticism in that realm?
Koreans ever criticize you?
Yeah, because he was about to go in on you about the soju.
Oh, I know. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And I think it's like my ground on Korean cuisine is so strong. Like my knowledge is that you can't really fuck with me in that sense.
Historical, like you go into
And also like the flavors that I bring, it's super traditional. I do modern food, but the flavors that you have in my cooking is really traditional. So, I mean, in the beginning, I kind of knew that, okay, well, people are going to either like love it or really like hate it, right? But I think in the end, people are very forgiving when you're real about stuff, right? And you're like genuine. So, not really, no.
Yeah.
I haven't really ever felt like...
You're very confident about your choices.
Yeah, I'm very, very confident.
Your food choice, your ingredient choices.
Very confident. Like, no one can
When
fuck
when
with
did
me.
you start the Korean food realm? If I may ask?
This was before Korean food became like super big.
So were you
Like, it was before
concerned?
that.
Were you worried? Like this
I was very. I'm like, oh my God. Like, and honestly speaking, and my shop in New York is very fusion, right? And I kind of had to use like, more of a trending item, which at the time was like ramen. like Japanese style ramen, I had to use that item to kind of start promoting Korean food. And people were like, what the fuck is this? It's not like ramen, but it's not like Korean food. So so I did get kind of a weird like hate in that way.
Right.
But it's not hate, it was more like curiosity. And then eventually just like everyone pretty much embraced what I was doing.
When do you think Korean food got popular? Like what year?
Probably 2016.
When do you think?
Well, I started my restaurant in 2018 was my first restaurant that I opened. But at the time, there was only one Korean restaurant that was outside of K-Town. It was Hooney's restaurant. Hooney Kim, which is an amazing chef. And he opened a restaurant called Tanji. And that was the only Korean restaurant.
This is in New York?
In New York.
Okay.
It's the only Korean restaurant that was more like kind of nice, you know, and he got a Michelin star for it. And
Wait, but I'm actually surprised what you guys just said. Like
you said 2016.
Yeah, but you guys think Korean food only got popular that recently?
It was like, it was starting.
Really?
That was
Absolutely.
I started before the wave. And then I opened my restaurant and then everyone was like, what the fuck is this?
It still seems fairly
It's really recent.
Yeah, it's recent.
Korea's the
It's
future,
recent.
man.
Yeah.
So you think it really just recently Korean, like, I mean, there's people who fucked with Korean food. They knew about kimchi maybe, but
Exactly. That's
the
it.
way, like
I think it's
blew
just-
up
It's
completely.
the mukbang
Like,
content, man. That mukbang stuff started really blowing up, and then people got a little bit more curious about Korean food.
I still think it has a long way to go, actually. Like
does.
we haven't peaked yet, you know?
What
like
was the first shit that blew it up? Korean barbecue?
I mean, Korean barbecue's always been there, though.
Yeah, Korean barbecue has been there. I mean,
Oh, this just so you don't judge. Korean barbecue was like before the Korean food wave. You mean? Like, it was
yeah,
already
like
there.
that's what everyone was like. Oh, that's what
Oh,
Korean
okay,
food
okay.
is. Yeah.
Now,
Exactly.
And I'm
getting
just like,
into
no, Korean food is like a lot more than just barbecue.
Right,
There's
right,
so many
right.
other things.
right?
Yeah,
and that's what happened. You're saying prior to 2016, it was like people knew about Korean barbecue, but 2016 was like everything else.
I don't think it was cuisine. I think it was Korean fast food, Korean snacks and stuff that blew up a little bit here and there. And then people started getting a little bit like, whoa, there's more to Korea. And at the same time, the Korean wave was happening with Korean music, Korean dramas.
true.
And people see, for example, people will see in dramas, they'll be eating tteokbokki or they'll be eating naengmyeon.
Yeah.
They're like,
Chicken.
what's that? It's
Fried
chicken.
chicken.
Yeah, fried chicken.
Korean fried chicken blew the fuck up.
Korean
fried chicken.
영국 남자, my friend Josh, Korean Englishman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was probably one of the main people who really
He
exposed.
did, yeah. His content's good.
God, he did it.
And then,
Those guys are
there's also
geniuses.
social media, like food influencers.
Yeah.
You know, just in general, mukbang, like stuff like things that
Yeah,
they see.
you guys talking about that. Mukbang was one that really helped out a lot.
Pretty Korean girls eating a lot of food.
I still watch mukbang. I love.
I never got into it.
Jiyoung.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know her?
I don't know her personally, but I know
Oh.
who she is.
Korean food is very Instagrammable.
Yeah.
I think that helps.
Yeah.
It's very red.
That's why they put all the cheese in there. They love the
Yeah.
visual. They love the
Cheese.
cheese pool of the fucking.
Yeah.
The Korean hot corn dogs
Yeah.
blew the fuck
Yeah.
They're so
up.
good too.
They blew the
I love
fuck
that shit.
up. That shit really blew it up. I think it looks good on video. And
Look
shit.
at this color, for example. If you other foods are
What is that?
brownish,
Yeah.
greenish, Korean food is bright red, orange. You know, there's peppers in there.
What do you think's the next Korean food that's gonna blow up, Esther?
I mean, that's so. I think that modern Korean food is having its moment right now, like Korean fine dining, right? A lot in New York are opening.
Right.
Like, lots of like really polished chefs are opening like these beautiful restaurants. That's having its moment right now, but I really think that's still more,
What's an underrated Korean dish?
Oh, underrated?
Yeah,
underrated.
that people don't know about. That could be the next thing. What do you think?
Underrated.
Like,
I don't know.
I still think like bunshik, stuff like that hasn't gone
That's
towards
true.
like it's like, you know, it hasn't blown up like stuff like what we're eating
it's
right now,
fast
like
food in
kimbap.
Korea. You're right.
Like how amazing is kimbap? Like why isn't that
Yeah,
a thing right now?
You know what? I will say I don't think kimbap is as popular in the States as it should be because, because people think about it as like people think sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah.
Is popular, but kimbap's a whole other thing.
And the whole other thing. You know,
So
tteokbokki, like
different.
that still hasn't gone through its like popularity.
You're right.
And I personally think that Korean barbecue, even though it's like the thing that everyone thinks about, there's so many different types of Korean barbecue that people don't think about, that know about, right? Like samgyeopsal, right? Or you know, people just eat kalbi when they go to Korean barbecue. But like
Really?
Korean seafood barbecue, you know, that, no, you're not a fan. You're like, ah.
I don't like seafood.
Yeah, you don't like seafood. Okay.
Wait, I got to ask you, Esther, because I don't cook, and I want to know. So this is a question regarding like the level of difficulty of cooking Korean food, like
my
compared to
God.
like American dishes or maybe a different culture. What is the level of difficulty of Korean food? Is it-
Seriously, guys, it's fucking hard.
It's
like
hard?
it's just so difficult, and that's why when I try to, I'm like. Any project that I work on, and they're like, "Oh, just send me the recipe." I'm like, I can't just fucking send you the recipe because it's not. It's like not like that. So,
Right.
like for example, on Iron Chef,
shout out,
Yeah.
Esther was on Iron Chef, one of the most prestigious like cooking competition shows in history.
Netflix just bought it and redid the whole
Yeah.
series. And in the finale battle, so we had like a huge premiere for when it launched, and there was this like VIP dinner, and each Iron Chef made their dish, and they asked me to make a dish from my menu. And they were like, "Oh, don't worry, you know, we have like the best team executing it. Just send us the recipe." And I'm just like, there's no way in hell that they can make any of the shit that I like made on the show. It's just, I can't write a recipe for it. It's just so complicated.
And not to
right?
spoil the results, so you got to go watch that. But you did
Yeah.
incredibly well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, are you asking me or are you
No,
saying
I just complimenting you without spoiling, you know.
Okay, yeah,
But
okay.
it is difficult, as you're saying. Yeah.
Korean food is special. You know, there's just so many elements, fermentation, you know, the flavor profile. And the thing that's very difficult about Korean food is like the balance that, you know, you can't just like make a recipe. It's not like pasta where you're just like making it and everyone knows what it's supposed to taste like. No one knows what Korean food is supposed to taste like unless you have the palate, right? Korean food is very specific. And that's why it's difficult. It's like I can try to teach someone how to make kimchi all day or for years, but it's like for them to get it right, it's just difficult.
Though two kimchis, no two 된장찌개 is the same.
Ever.
They're always different.
Because it's by science and by feel. 손맛.
Yeah.
You know, hand taste.
You don't,
So-
Dave, you don't miss any American food?
I have American food here all the time, man.
I know, but you don't miss like the American version, bro. like,
Hold on, man. You know what
you're not gonna get
Maybe that's
tacos
it.
here like the way you get tacos in LA. You know what I mean?
You do now.
Well, that's what he thinks because he
Fuck,
doesn't
you better
know.
take me because I don't believe that shit. I do not.
I actually have a couple of really nice places here.
It's because you don't know what tacos are supposed to taste like. That's
That's true. You haven't been a
Sorry.
fucking American
Yeah,
since
I know.
08, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, you don't
good
know.
I'm actually starting to get pissed how Korean you are now.
Yeah.
Like
Like, do you think he'll know what pizza tastes like? Like real pizza. Come on.
yeah, you can't. Come
No
on. New York
way.
pizza
New York
is like
no
Why are
way.
you even asking me?
Okay. Okay.
You brought the question at me. What the
I'm
fuck?
just so pissed about like how Korean you are. Honestly, I'm starting to get angry now. No. Yeah, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, okay.
I don't know, man. We have good food here. We have good Western
Yeah.
style. I don't know, man.
Western
Maybe you're right.
style
Maybe you're
food.
right. Maybe I don't know. But if it tastes good in my mouth, then
That's fine.
So you're eating more Korean throughout the week than
no
other stuff? Or
no,
you-
I hardly ever eat Korean food anymore.
What?
I cannot.
What do you eat
I
then?
cannot do it anymore.
What do you mean? Why?
I think that happens to a lot of people who live out here for a long time.
It's
What do
been
you
too
mean?
long.
You don't
I
eat Korean food?
I ate
What?
Korean food nonstop for 8 years, and I loved every single day of it. But there came to a point where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore.
So then what do you eat then?
Salads, poke,
What?
Oh, well, he's on his health shit.
poke bowls.
Oh, he's on
He
like
started
health
posting
thing?
all these like
Poke
shirtless
bowls.
photos of this food and shit. Check out the V line.
Oh my poke. Like,
Yeah, I
come
like it.
on.
I could eat that shit every day though. You know
I,
what I
I
mean?
like it. I like it. It's
I do
good.
eat salads almost for lunch every day.
So good.
Okay,
in
first
the
of all-
States. In the States.
But
I'm
a
trying to
good
get on my
sal-
fitness
a good
shit.
sal-
Also,
Good,
you're
though.
from LA. LA
That's
has really
true.
good salads.
They
Where
do.
the fuck do you get a salad in Korea?
There's so many.
Does Korea have good salads,
Yes.
or what?
Yes. Stop.
Stop.
You're just gonna
You're
judge me.
stupid.
They're very good salad.
Okay, tell me a good salad, please.
Do you want me to bring up pictures or?
I mean, I'm not gonna get a salad while I'm in
Yeah,
Korea.
no, hell no.
But
I can't imagine
There's
eating
a
a
couple
salad in
places
Korea.
Korea. There's a bunch of places in Hongdae.
That is true. I can't imagine eating a salad out here. I really
Why?
can't.
So
Like a
good.
salad is
Like,
a punch
no.
on, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
They have good, you got.
we eat the
have you
sanchu
ever had a good
salad with
here?
the Korean barbecue.
Good salads, right?
No, you don't. He doesn't. He's like, no, I don't.
They're good. They're good.
Do they got a sweet green out here?
What?
They don't have a sweet green out
Sweet
here.
green.
Right? No. Okay. What? I like sweet green. What the
All right,
fuck?
maybe I don't know
Come
good
on.
salads.
Say.
Come on,
I
sweet
like it.
cream.
You don't like sweet green?
No, I like sweet cream,
Yeah.
but like,
What's
why?
sweet cream?
Like out in Korea?
What's sweet
I don't
cream?
know. It's a salad
Wait, he
chain.
said
It's a
what's
salad
sweet?
chain. You see, like,
God, you're
could I just pay for your flight back to America just to experience America for a sec?
I don't want. I'm scared.
You're scared.
It's like a whole mind fuck.
Dude, and it's okay. I don't.
That's the funniest shit. A white dude being scared of America is
That-
the funniest shit ever.
It's a mind
I like
fuck.
the
I'm
safety here
confused.
too. I like the safety here.
Oh yeah, it is really safe in Korea.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap
Yeah.
things up. Yeah, sorry guys, no, just to let you guys know. All right.
No, we're just checking.
Oh, okay, cool. I just don't know why. Yeah, we're chopping up for, but it's just this is a funny dynamic here. What we're talking about. This is all great. Well, like, let me see what you got coming up next, Esther, and then
Oh, like what do you mean in life?
yeah, like anything that you got planned or You're
Well,
always
I'm
doing stuff.
opening 2 more mokbars in Newark and in DC area
oh wow,
in the next 2 months. So that's my restaurant, Mokba.
he'll never be able to. He'll never be able to go. Yeah, he's. Not,
I know. Well, he's not ever coming back to
unless
the
you open
States.
one out here.
Yeah.
He's not gonna.
I told people if I ever move back to the States, I'd go to New York.
You would.
Yeah.
That's where you would
New
live.
York's the place to be. I mean, it's the most
I
like.
can't do LA. I don't think I can do LA.
Hmm.
I feel like New York is most like Seoul, maybe.
Exactly. That's why.
Right?
She moved to LA.
I tried.
Oh,
I
did
tried.
you move back?
I mean, I still have my place out there,
You
but
do?
I haven't been there for like.
Wow.
I mean,
Okay.
I love the thought of LA.
Yeah.
But actually living and
You didn't
being
like it?
there, I just.
Why does
yeah.
everyone say that? What is it about
I'm
LA?
so- I'm
A lot
sorry,
of people
I'm not
say
trying to
that.
be
Well,
a-
I'm an
I
LA
like 'em.
boy, so it's like I was raised there my whole life. I like it, so
What's
It's
what's
hard.
LA like?
It's just because everything's so like separated. So I'm from New York, right? And you're in Seoul. So it's like hard for someone to transition
Yeah,
into like LA lifestyle. And like everything's so like slow and everyone's too chill. Like I'm like, what are we doing right now? Why are we just sitting here? Come on, let's do something.
I
like,
will
you know?
say more people in Korea tend to like LA more than New York.
Really?
Really?
Would you say that's true?
What?
More people like LA than
Yeah, more like LA than New York.
from here
Yeah.
in Korea.
I feel like that's the vibe mostly. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
yeah, I think they would enjoy.
Well, maybe because New York's a little bit more intimidating and LA is more welcoming.
It's more similar too.
I think New York's more similar to Seoul.
Really?
Yeah. So they like the
difference.
I like the buildings.
When they go to
and
LA.
beaches and stuff.
Yeah, maybe they go to LA and they're like,
look at
oh,
me.
it's
Do I look like I
different.
Go to a beach. I can't.
Well, also Seoul
You're
doesn't
really
have like a
pale.
crackhead taking a
You're like
shit in the middle of the
Korean
street.
pale.
You know what I mean?
That's,
So
Yeah.
that's genetic.
You're like the most Korean looking white boy. He's like pale with his hair and the glasses.
Well, I mean, come on. Being pale is not.
this fool looks like a white Jay Park right now, bro.
He's like,
All right. Well, congrats on the. Man, you've been killing it. I mean, since I've met you, there's so many
oh,
businesses, like brands and television. You know, all my friends, like in the group chat, we were talking about you recently. They're like, "Yo, I think she's gonna be the next like big celebrity chef."
well, someone's got to represent. That's the thing
Yeah.
about like Korean food. No one represents it the way that it should be because they're always trying to dilute it with something else, right? For me, I'm like unapologetically Korean.
Right.
And that's the food that I fucking cook. It's like my grandma's food. It's those flavors. And that's what I actually love the most. Like I eat like a shigor harmony. Like I eat like a ajoshi. You know, that's how I like my food. I like the most funkiest shit. And like, that's what I like to eat. So I think in that sense, I can represent the food and the culture pretty well in that sense. And I'm a female, right? So that helps too.
We need
So-
more of that representation as well. So,
Yeah, exactly.
what's your favorite Korean food?
Oh, I was
What?
gonna ask that.
What?
What's your
that?
favorite Korean food?
Oh, you're gonna ask that right
I
now?
was thinking in my head, when do I ask her what her
Oh, okay. Yeah, what is it?
Whoa.
I'm actually curious.
Me too.
It's straight up kimchi jjigae. Like
Yeah.
kimchi
Just
jjigae.
kimchi jjigae.
That's there for me too. That's like my top 3.
It's like a death row meal. Kimchi jjigae.
me too.
It's the
That's
best.
your favorite Korean food?
That galbichim.
Galbichim.
Oh, 갈비찜. I made you 갈비찜.
Oh.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I told her that, and she made some galbichim, kimchi jjigae, rice, and maybe like a fish. Then I'm like, set.
Like grilled fish, like
yeah,
groovy
a
or
grilled
something.
fish. Yeah, a grilled fish.
Yeah.
Ask me.
I like that.
All right, what's yours?
What's your-
뼈해장국.
Oh, I
What is
like
that?
that.
뼈해장국, the
뼈해장-
hangover soup, 감자탕.
감자탕.
Oh, okay.
감자탕 is
Okay.
one of my favorites too.
Kamjatang is like the pork, the neck
The pork
bone.
belly.
Big neck bone.
Do you know the
Yeah.
place in Hannamdong, 24시간 감자탕?
No, I've never been there.
Hello, only the best 감자탕 in
It's good.
Seoul, right? See?
That place-
Yeah.
I think I've been there. I think I've been there actually. Yeah.
It's literally.
Word Hannam.
It has like that big parking lot, right?
It's just
or no?
called 24시간,
Oh,
right?
never mind.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't been
Alleyway.
there.
It's called literally 24시간 감자탕,
Okay.
and it is fucking fire. Best I've ever had. It's like the best.
Okay.
And I might need to eat that.
Okay,
tonight.
maybe I'll do that this weekend. All right.
You
well,
have to.
Esther Choi, Mokbar is the name of the restaurant she has in New York City. So if you guys ever visit, make sure you check it out. And also, there's a cocktail bar you opened up, didn't you?
Miss You.
Miss You.
You haven't even been.
I haven't been to that one, no.
Yo,
but
you
I've been
have
keeping
to.
up. Great name, by the way.
Oh, Miss You, that's my harmony.
Yeah, so
Miss
it's
You.
ms.u, like Miss You.
I miss you.
I
Yeah,
love
miss
the
you.
name. I saw that. I thought it was fantastic. It was
thank
such a
you.
good name. You killed that. That's the cocktail bar. Mokbar is the your restaurant.
That's it's a quick service, like ramen, shop, rice bowls.
Yeah.
Very comforting Korean food.
Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Okay, and she has Ceci, the sesame oil brand, CBD infused. And is there anything else?
Netflix Iron Chef.
If you go on Netflix right now and watch Iron Chef, you'll see her competing. I think on the first episode. Or
It's the
something.
second episode.
Yeah, second episode. Amazing. And you could see her. Her online content is fantastic. So make sure you follow Choi Bites. We got Dave. First of all, I gotta ask you
Dave.
this: how'd you feel about Lil Dicky's show coming out? That's called Dave too. Did you know that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
You didn't feel any type of way because it's called Dave.
I felt no type of way.
You are the Korean
Similar
Lil
to Dave
Dicky.
Chappelle, but
Do you have any feelings?
I do have feelings.
But do people know your last name out here? No, not really, right? It's just
not
Dave.
really, no.
You are Dave.
Because I'm the first Dave in Korea.
Yeah, right.
and the last Dave in Korea.
Yeah. It's hard to go by Dave
Yeah.
out here.
Wait, what
'cause
is
they
your
know.
last name?
Levine.
Oh yeah, we just.
But I'm Latino.
You're like
Yeah, my mom's Cuban, my dad's Peruvian.
I didn't know that.
what?
Yeah.
You're so
Okay.
pale.
I'm 100. That's what my cousins always say. Like,
You're
David, ¿qué
so-
pasó? You're such a gringo now.
Oh, you're Latino. You see why? Why didn't you correct me? I've been calling you a white dude
I
the
know,
whole
but-
fucking time,
I
bro.
don't want to be that guy.
Oh my
But,
god.
technically, I don't want to be, those. But I guess I should have been.
You should have,
Yeah.
because people are gonna be like, look at
Yeah.
I was born in
That would have been
Miami.
less critical if you
I
were
was born in
Latino, dude.
Miami, Florida. But my mom can't even speak English properly.
You see, this would have all
so
earned you
weird.
points. Now they hate you by this episode. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm kidding. No, but Dave is, I promise you, for those who are like, why is there a white guy in Korea? If you watch his content, you will truly understand what this man does and really, really show different perspectives and languages and shows you the authentic Korea. Like real shit. And just really consider him almost like this cultural translator for people who might not have access to this world, and he really immerses himself into the culture too. So a lot of respect there.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for joining me today. Shout out to Won Soju that Dave may or may not like, but I like it.
We
Esther
killed
loves
it.
Yeah, Esther
I
loves
really love it
I
and
feel
appreciate
good.
it.
That's what's up. And shout out Collab Asia Korea for letting us use this set. I'm your host, Dumbfoundead. Tune in next week for another episode of Fun with Dumb. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.